finally had get somebody, because she couldn't do it anymore.
All right, how are you feeling today?
Good. Sorry that it's the last day of the week for yoga. Sorry.
Can't do it every day. You could do it every day though if you wanted to.
I do.
Okay.
I told you I throw myself on the floor every now and then.
There you go. That's how you do it. Just throw yourself on the floor. Okay. Anything out of whack for anybody today? Any joints hurting back?
Sniff one, that's either your cold or allergies. It's not, I don't have a cold. I don't.
I got the chesty thing, so if I start
I have
coughing,
no congestion, no nothing, but I'm gonna sniff and sneeze maybe.
yeah. Well, I may cough a little bit, so just ignore me. Okay. Well, let's start off on our backs today. You lay on down, and we'll bend the knees, place the feet flat on the floor. You can place your hands on your belly if you'd like. Just give yourself a chance to breathe deeply, expanding your belly into your palms. Just allow your chest to lay open, allow those shoulders to fall down flat onto the mat. Work on softening through your forehead. Allow your eyebrows to relax. Try not to hold any tension through the jaw. And just to lengthen through the neck as well, see if you can stretch the crown of your head toward the top of the mat. So you might tip your chin a little bit in towards your throat. A few more big breaths. Okay, then keeping the upper body nice and relaxed, we're going to inhale, bring the knees toward the chest. You can just hug your arms around your knees and maybe give it a few passes side to side. Big breath in. We're going to exhale. Allow your head to lift slightly. Bring your nose towards your knees. So bring those knees in tighter toward the chest. Tucking your chin. Big breath in. Exhale, send those legs out nice and long. You can lower your head back to the mat. Stretch the hands up overhead. Try to let those shoulders relax. Give it 2 more breaths. Spreading out through the fingers and toes. You can wiggle them a little bit if you need. Okay, we're going to bend the knees again. Place the feet flat. And from here, we're going to allow the knees to just fall off to one side of the mat, but we're going to keep our chest pointed toward the ceiling. So just a passive, easy stretch through the hips and your lower back. Inhale, draw those knees through the center. You can drop them off on the other side of the mat as you exhale. Again, breathe in, draw those knees through the center. Exhale, drop the knees off on the side of the mat. Last time, big breath in, exhale, and drop those knees off on the side. Very good. We're going to inhale, bring those knees back to the center. We're going to pull the feet up off of the mat, and we're going to row the legs. So we're going to make opposing circles with each knee, just rotating through the thigh and allowing the hips to press down into the mat. And then repeat the other direction. Small circles through the hips. Very good. Let's place one leg down. Bring the other knee up toward the chest. We're going to clasp the hands behind the back of the knee and allow the leg to extend. So we're reaching those toes toward the ceiling. Big stretch through the back of the leg. Okay, then we're going to lower that leg down. Bring the other knee up toward the chest. Same thing, clasp the hands behind the back of the knee. You can straighten the leg toward the ceiling. And rotate through the ankles if you need to. Very good. Let's lower that leg down. We're going to flip over onto our belly. Go ahead and flip on over. I'm going to turn my mat here. Okay, so onto our belly. Forearms are going to go down on the mat, just nice and easy. We're lifting the chest, taking a few deep breaths. Keep those shoulders down. Big breath in. We're going to exhale, lower the chest and forehead to the mat. Let's extend the arms out overhead. Still moving into the midsection as you breathe. Okay, we're going to inhale. Let's bring those hands in underneath the shoulders. We're going to push up off of the mat, just staying on the knees. So keep those knees down on the mat. We're in a high plank though, so hips are pressed forward. We've got a straight line from our shoulders, past our hips, down to our knees. Keeping those hips nice and tucked. And big breath in. We're going to exhale, allow the hips to lower. Lift the forehead and the chest toward the ceiling. So big stretch through the front side. Okay, then and breathing in. We're gonna exhale, let's send the knees out wide, bring the big toes together, and stretch it on back. Few more breaths, just stretching those arms away. All right, we're gonna bring it up to a tabletop position. So let's settle those hands down under the shoulders, bring the knees in, and tuck those in. Once we've got our back nice and flat, we're gonna tuck those shoulders under. It's going into a bird dog here, piece by piece. So big breath in. We're gonna exhale, let's send the leg away. Just holding that stable position. Reaching with that leg. If you feel stable, you can reach out with the opposite arm. Okay, we're gonna inhale, let's draw that arm and leg down. Okay, resting for a second, you can wiggle out if you need, and then we're repeating on the other side, starting with the leg. Big breath in, exhale, send that leg away. And keep good pressure through the hands, pushing away from the floor. And if you feel stable, reach out with the opposite arm. And reach out nice and straight. Big breath in, exhale, lower that arm down. Okay, so we can move forward on the mat if you're not already toward the front. Just going into a little side stretch. We're going to send the leg out underneath us again, but this time let's cross it over the outside edge of the mat and then turn to look toward that foot. So more of a stretch through the waist now, through the side of the body. Just sinking into that shape. When you're ready, you'll return to neutral. And you'll repeat on the other side. So you'll send the leg out, cross it over, and just turn to look. Very good. Okay. So when you're ready, same thing. We're turning that back to neutral. We're going to go into a pigeon pose. So let's go ahead and bring a knee forward. We're going to extend out nice and long. So one leg will be straight back behind you if you can. Other leg will be in front. We're going to start by just turning toward the front of the mat, sinking that back hip down. Allowing for a big stretch through the front of your back hip so you can settle that front hip down on the mat. We're actually seated on your butt there. And then you can gradually start to lower toward the mat, lowering those forearms down. And passively stretching over that front hip. your time. When you're ready, you're gonna push up out of that shape. And now before we switch, we're gonna go into a lunge position. So just bring your body up and place that foot down onto the mat. So the same leg you had in front just now. We'll go down onto the mat, and we'll move the hands to the inside of the leg and just going into a passive stretch forward. Shoulders held down. We're lifting through the chest. And we're going to take the backside arm and stretch it up toward the ceiling or off to the side, wherever you can reach. Does a big stretch here, little balance pose. Give it 3 breaths. And you can lower that hand down. Go ahead and sit on back. Give your hips a second. Give your wrists a second. So in a moment, we're going to be doing the pigeon on the other leg. So hopefully you remember which leg you have in front. We're going to be swapping legs. So when you're ready, you're going to move forward into that shape. For the opposite leg in front, other leg in the back. Try to get that back leg as straight as you can handle. And we're starting with just nice straight posture, up and down, trying to stretch through those hips. And settle down toward the mat. And very gradually, you can start to lower your forearms down and closer to the mat over that bent knee. Two more breaths here if you like. And then we're going to meet in our deep lunge. So when you're ready to push out of that shape, and bring the body up, place that foot down on the mat. And then same thing, hands will go on the inside of your foot as you sink those hips down. Pulling the shoulder blades down and together. Slide lift through the chest. And we're going to go to the top one. We're going to take that backside arm, try to stretch it up toward the ceiling. Give it 3 deep breaths. And after that 3rd breath, you can lower that hand down. Go ahead and send that leg back. Give your wrist a second if you need it. Then we're going to meet in downward facing dog. So you can place those hands down one more time when you're ready. We're going to curl those toes under and move the hips up and back. Pulling the tailbone away from the wrists. When you're ready, you'll walk the feet forward, walk the hands back. Nice and easy, press those knees forward, hips forward, and then stand up. Very good. Okay, so we're gonna do a little balance pose. You might need the wall. So if you need to back up to something stable, go on ahead. We're gonna go into a half lotus. Excuse me. So we're gonna stand on one foot, work on spreading out those toes on the ground, bend the knees slightly. And we're gonna bring the opposite foot in. So we're making that space smaller to start with so we don't have to depend on the wall. And you can gradually come up the leg, above the knee. Now if you can, you're gonna try to cross that ankle over the front of the thigh. And then you can either hold that shape and then go into a fold, or if you can grab that ankle and pull up and hold, you can add a little extra stretchy to your hip. Okay, so the last progression would be to scoot the hips back slightly and try to fold over that extended leg. Give us two more deep breaths. And when you're ready, we're going to push up and away, lower that leg down. And then we'll be repeating on the other side. So spread out those toes, bend the knees slightly. You'll bring your other foot in to make that base smaller. And gradually work up the side of the leg. Trying to get higher than the knee. Once you're there, if you can handle it, you'll cross that leg over. Either hang out there or you can grab hold of the ankle, pull it up into the hip crease, and fall over. Now, wherever you stopped at, you can either stay straight up and down, or you can try to move the hips back and fold forward. Two more breaths. Okay, and when you're ready, you can straighten up nice and tall. Lower that leg down. Very good. Okay, we're going to put the feet out wide for just a second on the mat. Okay, bring those hands back behind the back, nice and open through the chest. We're going to press the hips forward. Big breath in, exhale, move the hips back. And stretch the hands down toward the floor. And we're going to inhale, bring the body up, pull those hands back, open the chest toward the ceiling. And last bit, move those hips back, stretch those hands toward the floor. So now once you're finished with this stretch, take your time and we're gonna go ahead and lay out on the mat. So take your time getting down to the floor. You can lay on your back or on your belly. But find a comfortable position for you just to rest out for these last couple of minutes. You can stay here for one more moment if you'd like. Now that you decide you're done for today, you can wiggle around and sit on up. Okay, how's everybody feeling? Woo-hoo! We made it through. Awesome, good job.